Hi, everyone. This is Heather Vickery, and you've tuned in to the Brave Files podcast. Have you ever had a seemingly passive and innocent conversation that you later realized was tremendously impactful? Well, after this week's guest went through some personal and physical transformations, she ended up having a simple conversation that completely changed the trajectory of her life. Today, I talk with Dana Marlowe about her inspiring story of going from a nerdy suburban mom to funding and founding an international nonprofit organization that provides impoverished girls and women all over the world with bras and menstrual hygiene products. You can't imagine the unbelievable need there was for this service. This is the story of how one person can change the world and inspire a movement. And if she can do it, so can you. And speaking of changing the world, if you're looking for an incredible community to help you step into your brave, offer support, network, and just build a new community with, we hope you'll join us in our Facebook group, Brave on Purpose. We would love to see you there. All you have to do is search Brave on Purpose in Facebook and you'll find us. All right, now enjoy the show.
Tenacious, Accidental, Fortuitous.
This is Heather Vickery, and you're listening to The Brave Files, stories from people living courageously. When we choose bravely in big and small ways, it powers.
Tenacious, Accidental, Fortuitous.
This is Heather Vickery, and you're listening to The Brave Files, stories from people living courageously. When we choose bravely in big and small ways, it powerfully elevates our lives. I hope these stories connect with you and encourage you to embrace bravery in every possible way, day after day. Together, we can build a movement of courageous living that enriches both our lives and our communities. And if you enjoy the show, I ask you to please share it with others. Maybe think of someone who you want to choose bravely right alongside you. Thanks for tuning in. Now here's the show. Hey everybody, this is Heather Vickery. Welcome to the Brave Files. So happy you decided to join us today. If you are a listener of the show or whether this is your first time finding us, I want to let you know about our Patreon page. So if you don't know what Patreon is, it's this really great platform that connects artists and creators with people who like to support artists and creators. And that's what we do over here at the Brave Files. We create a movement of bravery, and we are watching it just spread all over the world. It's so exciting. And we can't do what we do without your support. So please head on over to patreon.com/bravefiles. Check out what we're up to, find a tier that works for you, and become a supporter right now. We are so excited to have you as part of our Brave movement. But now let's get on with this really exciting episode. So for all of our female identifying listeners, I have a question. Have you ever wondered to yourself what to do with your old bras? Now, those who are male identifying, don't leave. We know you don't probably wear bras. Maybe you do, but that's okay. You're going to still love this conversation. Well, for those of you that have asked this question, today's guest asked it, and then she created an entire movement around that question. Pretty incredible lady that is going to totally blow you away. Dana Marlowe is the founder of I Support the Girls, which is a nonprofit organization that provides a source of dignity, self-esteem, empowerment, and support to marginalized women via the donations of bras and menstrual hygiene products. These are just a few of the very cool things that Dana does, and I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the Brave Files.
Thank you so much, Heather. I'm excited to be here too.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun conversation. I have to just share with our listeners what our pre-recording conversation was because most of them will get it. So we had some technical issues with some sound, and I asked you what your headphone situation was like, and what did you say?
Well, I know that you might be tuning in and listening through your AirPods or driving in the car or going about your day. And my original headphones weren't working, so I actually took my son's, and I look like they're huge gamer headphones, but truly I look like a Time Life operator. So if that helps complete a visual for everybody, that will work. But you can't get any like hardware books from me today.
No, but what I love about that is I laughed very hard. And then it occurred to me that I'll bet you there's a whole crew of people who don't know what a Time Life operator is. And that's sort of a litmus test for you, I think, right? You can check out generation gaps.
Correct. If you don't know what a Time Life operator is, go run over to your favorite search engine and get a glimpse of the 1980s ads that we used to be bombarded with.
It was such a great visual, and I knew right then you were my people, and we were going to get along really well. So there was a slight distraction, but I had to share that with everybody. So I like to start every episode by getting a little bit of background information. We already know you're a powerhouse. We already know you're the founder of this incredible organization, but how did you get here?
It was truly accidental. I didn't mean to start a global NGO. That wasn't... I mean, accidents happen, right, Heather?
They do. They do. And that's okay, to quote Elmo.
That's okay. So, yeah, I didn't mean to start a global nonprofit or a movement. Totally was not on my agenda or in my foreseeable horizon back then. But I was somebody who works really hard, and I kind of had lost sight of, I don't even just say that mind-body connection, but that whole healthy putting myself first element, which I think a lot of, and I was a newer parent. I was working full time, and I think a lot of folks who are parents who work a lot might be able to understand what that's like. And so, I needed to exercise and eat better, which are obviously the basics of every single magazine cover that is gracing your supermarket checkout aisles today. It's not like this was rocket science, but I wasn't doing it, right? So I finally decided to do something about it in 2014 and 2015 and start exercising and eating better. And lo and behold, I had lost 35 pounds.
Wow. That's impressive.
And, I put my mind to it and I just did it. But this is not, for anyone who's, listening to this, is not a weight loss success story. That's just the beginning to this journey. And so I guess, though, it could be seen as a success story because out of it, a lot of people are helped, but it's not a weight loss success story for me. But I had lost a lot of weight and I needed new clothing. And I know, through the virtue of airwaves and magical technology, you guys can't see that I'm a fashion train wreck, so you'll just have to take my word for it.
We'll have links and pictures and videos, so maybe we'll see it there. Or maybe you're a little hard on yourself. I don't know.
Well, maybe I'll let you be the judge. Heather, I will tell you that several years back, one of my employees, one of my close friends, a childhood best friend, and my mom all got together conspiring and nominated me for a TV show called What Not to Wear.
Oh my God. You're all about the throwbacks. I love that so much. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So I feel like that actually lends a little bit of ethos to my story of me saying that I feel like if that group of people got together to try and get me on a show, and the show called and they brought their video cameras down to DC and ambushed me in Georgetown. I did not go, I didn't go any further than that. But, I am a certain level of fashion mishap. And I wasn't going shopping for new clothing, but I also wasn't going shopping for new bras. And one morning, my husband very lovingly said to me, Dana, I know you're not going out there to get some new pantsuits and new outfits, but oh my gosh, your bras are not supporting you in any direction. And when somebody you love is like, hey, point blank, and I do a lot of work in the government for federal agencies. So I'm in and out of government buildings and business suits all day long. And he's like, it's one thing if your suits are a little bit baggy or you're wearing, an extra, you're tightening your belt. But like the thing about the bra is like, and with me and my body type, he's like, you really need one a bra that fits, that supports you. So I wound up changing my plans, and this was July 2015, going out to the store, and I went to a Soma boutique, and they're a lingerie undergarment store, and they were willing to fit me for a new bra. They were kind, and while I was in the dressing room, I had asked the boutique stylist there what I could do with my perfectly good used, no longer fitting me bras. And she said 4 words, and those 4 words have changed the trajectory of my life. So that's how this got started, when she said to me, homeless women need bras.
Wow. Just sort of round. I mean, I'm sure she gets asked that question all the time.
But I did something.
Like, what did you do? Like, did you go home and just sit with you for a while, or were you like instantly in action mode? Like, what happened?
Instantly in action. So I'm also very I'm full blown nerd. Like not even a little. I'm not trying to be a little bit dorky. I happy to flag my nerd flag out there with pride. And I went home and got online immediately because I didn't know this. And so I had learned something new that moment. Got online, found an article that was relatively recent, back in July 2015, indicating that there was a shelter in Washington, D.C., which is near where I live, that was donating, giving bras out to their clients, their population of women experiencing homelessness. And I thought, all right, now let me double check this. I'm somebody who's going to not take the article at face value. I'm going to call and confirm. And I spoke with their in-kind manager that day, and I said, I just learned this, and I just saw you in the article for your agency. Is this true? Do homeless women need bras? Because like many of your listeners, Heather, and I'm sure yourself, I am somebody who we are privileged to donate items that we no longer are using, whether it's children's clothes that they grow out of, whether it's books, whether it's furniture. I mean, gosh, I donated my wedding dress the week after the wedding.
Wow.
So I'm just not...
I'm divorced, and mine is still in a box in the basement. I have 4 daughters, and there's some stupid part of me that thinks they might want to see it. I don't know.
Okay, you never know. I mean,
they probably really don't.
Well, there's amazing, photography. One could also always snap a photo. But there was an organization that was collecting wedding dresses and donating money raised to women experiencing breast cancer who needed it, and this is years ago, and so. That's just I'm not as sentimental probably as my mom wishes I were.
Yeah, I am. That's the difference. I am super sentimental, but I donate like crazy. We do purge, but I am sentimental. Not about my bras though. That's my favorite thing to take off. So
oh, mine too. You might want to delete that, but mine too.
Nah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But the worst thing is when I'm caught out and about without bras and people are like, "Hey, you're that bra fairy. Can I get a photo?" And I'm like, "Oh my God."
I donated all my bras and I just don't happen to have
I
one
don't
on
have
today.
any. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's like the shoemakers, the cobbler's children have no shoes or whatever." So I'm always crossing my arms. But no, I donate my stuff, but I didn't know that you could open up your bra drawer. And a lot of women and girls have bras that they no longer wear, and they just keep shoving them to the back of their drawer. And whether those are sports bras or training bras, and as bodies age and develop, or regular underwire or bralettes, I realized that maybe I wasn't alone, and I just put it out on Facebook. And I'm just a suburban mom. I just threw it out on Facebook and said, I'm going to be donating my bras. Here's the social service organization I'm working with that needs the bras. I also learned that they desperately need maxi pads and tampons. Again, this is July 2015.
Yeah.
I was aware of the pink tax, of the tampon tax. And I said, if anybody out there is willing to go out and if wants to donate bras, let me know. And it exploded.
That's awesome.
So that's how this got started. My very first donation was, again, a huge collective effort with a lot of people donating. And we donated over 1,000 bras and over 7,000 menstrual hygiene products that day to that same shelter that I called.
Wow. The very few things get me as excited as seeing a community truly come together for a cause. I just think it's incredible. I love that. So what were you doing? Did you have a regular job? Not that, like a more traditional job at this time?
I still do.
You still do?
Yeah, I still do.
What do you do? It's like you're Superman. What do you do in your day job?
I'm not. My day job, I run a company called Accessibility Partners that works with large federal agencies and Fortune 500 corporations to make their websites, mobile apps, and software applications usable for people with disabilities.
Oh, man, I like you a lot.
And 85% of our team are people with disabilities, so we walk the walk, truly.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So that's my day job. And I'm also like the CEO and founder of I Support the Girls, and I'm kind of constantly wearing both hats all the time, and they keep me on my feet, and I have a lot of fun with it. But my house is constantly overflowing with like tampon towers and like mountains of bras, and guests are coming over and they're like, am I going to have to sort bras before I can even like go to sleep on the guest bed? And I'm like, yeah, basically that's how we roll here.
That's pretty much it. You mentioned that you have a son. What does he think of all of this?
Oh, I have two boys.
Two boys.
Yep. They're 11 and 8. And again, since this has been going on for 4 years, they're aware they know what periods are, they know what maxi pads and tampons are, and they are constantly helping me go to homeless shelters or domestic violence centers and bringing the bags in and out, or we receive on average about 100 packages, large packages, huge boxes, some of them that are anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds that two people need to kind of carry in because of the bulk of products from strangers. Basically, people send me their underwear, but not in that creepy, eBay way. That's not my jam. So, I
want to go out to dinner with you, Dana.
Oh, let's do it. That would be so fun. It would be so fun. Come play in DC. We can use all the fun here right now.
I feel all of that. So they're used to it. I so admire and appreciate that. It's funny. I walk this line. I'm a super feminist. I'm a super activist. My kids are, as well. And it's why I have 4 daughters. And yet just yesterday morning, one of my daughters, one of my teenagers, got all the way to school and then realized she'd forgotten her tampons.
Right.
And she's like, oh, and I'm like, I'm annoyed because I've got work to do. I have to go back to her dad's house, which isn't my house,
right,
and find them and take them to school for her. And I'm like, well, let me put them in a bag. And I literally had a moment where I thought, should I find a bag that's not see-through?
Right.
Because I got to walk into school with these. And then I'm like, why am I thinking about this?
Right.
Why do I care? Why would she care? This is a natural, normal thing. And so I just put them in a Ziploc bag. But I really did think about it. And then I was very annoyed with myself. So I appreciate that your boys are not weirded out. Like you're part of changing that dialogue for them.
I think it's critical. I think right now we need to be opening minds in so many different ways. I speak with my kids about a lot of different issues. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm probably screwing up this parenting thing left and right. But there's times where I'm like, okay, this is parenting done right. And that's when they get it because they're giving back. Again, they're in 5th and 2nd grade. And so we're talking about that they have been doing this. One was in preschool and one was basically in kindergarten. So this is normal for them. But they're also talking about periods and menstruation is not something, it's still taboo, and it's only going to keep being taboo if we persist and let it be taboo.
Yeah.
So I talk to them. They don't have to know the nitty gritty. I think like to all things, there's an age and a time.
Yeah.
but they get it. And my younger one just this week, oh my gosh, I will send you a picture offline because it's amazing. He had a really bad bloody nose. That wasn't the amazing part.
You grabbed a pad, didn't you?
No, I grabbed the smallest. Again, he's second grade. He's got a tiny little nose. I grabbed a tiny little OB and we rammed it up there. So, and he looked as ridiculous as it sounds, but we basically shoved a tampon up his nostril. And, but it's normalizing for them not having menstrual hygiene products shoved up their nose. But it's the only way to remove those unnecessary taboos, like shoving the tampon when your friend asks you for one, so you put it up your sleeve, or you're hiding it up your sleeve to run to the restroom, so nobody sees it. I mean, I'm not saying wave it around, like a victory flag, but like you wouldn't do that with a Band-Aid, giving it to a friend or something like that. So I think that there's
totally right.
There's got to be a lot of that, but a lot of kids are in all cities across the country, and of course in other developing nations in developing nations as well. There's kids that are missing school basically roughly from 5th grade onwards when they don't have menstrual hygiene supplies. And so fortunately your daughter was able to communicate with you that she forgot them. You were able and willing to go get them. You had access to them, and you had access to be able to bring them back. A lot of schools don't have that. So we have partnered through the years with numerous school systems, including Chicago Department of Public Schools, with Chicago Department of Public Health. And we pumped in, for a period of 12 months, we pumped in over 100,000 menstrual hygiene products.
It's awesome.
To the 13 lowest income schools, as identified by the Chicago Department of Public Schools.
That is so cool. Now, do you work in all the different states? Like, do you support women all over the nation?
So we have one of our flagship programs is our affiliate network. And as soon as I realized that I Support the Girls was so much bigger than me here in DC, and that was early on, this is late 2015.
Yeah.
I hearken back to where I just mentioned I'm nerdy, so that at least then people can connect the dots. And when I realized my inbox was literally my cups overfloweth, to use an applicable pun. My inbox, I was drowning. I could not keep up with the messages. And I realized I needed to come up with a plan. So I got people that are much smarter than me in a room together. I brought in a moderator who specializes in this, and I brought in folks who have decades of experience of nonprofit management and leadership and communications and brand strategy and marketing and startup business experience. And I brought everybody together for a full day and fed them, of course, because that's what you do, right? You just kind of throw food at people. And I'm like, I need help. This is bigger than me. And I know that this is scalable and replicable, but I just don't know how to get there. And so let's discuss how we can bring more dignity to menstruators and women and girls in need and what that looks like. And so we created the affiliate network. And so right now we have 54 I Support the Girls affiliates. So that ranges from I Support the Girls Detroit to I Support the Girls Phoenix to I Support the Girls Dallas to I Support the Girls Australia and in the Philippines and Thailand and Pakistan and Canada. And so you get the point. We have a lot of locations where we are empowering women locally to collect and distribute these very essential items of bras and new underwear and sealed menstrual hygiene products, and partnering with a variety of social service organizations in their communities, thereby then allowing more women and folks experiencing homelessness or impoverishment to be able to stand tall with dignity. And so that's our affiliate network.
I love it. I think it's so incredible and so important. How much time went between you getting your new bra and getting this moment where you knew you could do something and going on Facebook to realizing, whoa, this thing is big and I can build it to support people all over the world?
So the moment in the bra store where a stranger was measuring my chest was middle of July 2015. And I posted on Facebook the same day, and I believe that was July 13th, 2015. And you want to talk short-sighted, Heather? I put on that post, I learn about this need, and hey, I'm going to collect bras and sealed menstrual hygiene products for 2 weeks till the end of July.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah, this is a bad case of scope creep.
That's incredible.
But what I realized was I couldn't end it in July because so many people were like, I'm doing a collection at my office, or my company is hosting a drive, or all of a sudden August turned into September and it was, I'm doing something with, the sorority at my university, or the feminist club in my organization is doing something, or my employee resource group, for, women wants to do a collection drive for you for back to school, or, and so on. The coffee shop is collecting, the Soul Cycle, the yoga studio. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll let it go again. And so that first donation that I mentioned happened right before Halloween 2015. So you can see that that's how long I collected those products for. And the Washington Post, which is my local newspaper and media outlet here in DC, did a story, and that was at the same time. And so that story came out right at Halloween time, and for 48 hours, like, my phone was not usable. It was just,
wow.
I had not, to that point, I had not experienced that before, what that feels like, to have that many people wanting to help, or wanting to give back, or wanting product. And so what I wound up doing was realizing that even the reporter was getting bombarded with emails and messages and just kept forwarding them to me. And I'm like, well, it's kind of one of those like shit or get off the pot moments, right? Like, and I don't know if this is the kind of podcast that you can say that.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Great. Well, then that's what it was, right? And I think that, there's a lot of these like moments in our lives where you're standing on that precipice, you're standing on that edge, that cliff, and you're going, do I do it or do I not? And usually I'm the person who will do it. And I will take that risk. But this time the risk wasn't about me.
Yeah.
Because the platform that had to be created was so much bigger than suburban mom in Maryland, right? Like, this was going to help so many people's lives, because I was hearing from women like Crystal who hadn't had a new bra in 9 years. And then she and I met and got to connect, and she was wearing so many layers that day. Jackets upon sweaters, upon jackets, upon hats, upon scarves. And she said, I used to be a painter, and I live on the streets of DC, and life hasn't been easy for me. And all I want is a red lacy bra. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, well, that wasn't what I expected. But I said, well, I've come to you with over 1,000 bras today. Let's see what we can do. And so she told me we got her sized, and I said, can I ask why? And she said, well, my life puts me in a lot of positions and places that are not safe, that I'm just doing my best to get by. I wear a lot of clothing. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be noticed, but I want to feel good. And she said, when you're walking around the metro stations and you see these giant floor-to-ceiling colorful advertisements of women smiling and they're in red lacy bras, or you walk around like the street corners where you have like the little magazine stands on the shops, and all of the magazines have women and they're always smiling and beaming from ear to ear, and they're in a red lacy bra. And she said, I just want that too. But the beauty of a bra is she said it won't put me at risk, because it's going to be hidden under so many of my layers that nobody has to know it's there to put me in any perilous situation. But I know it's there, and it's close to my heart, and it will make me smile. So we got her several red lacy bras that day. And she said, I also would love a sports bra. And I said, okay, well, what, like, that's, we know your size and anything in particular. And so she said, I just want a sports bra because the underwire won't poke me. And the beauty of the sports bra is that extra bit of fabric in the chest lets me put my personal items,
Inside
my
it.
my identification, my money, my photographs, my little tiny paintings, the things I need close to me, lets me put it right there in that extra fabric spot. So we got her several sports bras too.
Wow. That story is incredible.
So when you hear those stories, for me, I couldn't desist, right? So there I am on the edge. And there's a saying that says, like, you're not obligated to complete the work, but neither can you desist from it. So this is me not desisting.
Yeah.
So we put together an organization.
I mean, just care. So we put together an organization, just made it happen. No, I love your tenacity. I love your drive, and just the way that your heart connects with what people need. How in the world do you manage and balance? I'm probably not the only person that's asked you this. Two full-time careers, really, and a family. And I'm not even asking like, how are you home for dinner with your kids, but how do you get by? What are your self-care practices or your daily rituals or the things that make you able to do all of that?
People. The short answer is the people. The people that I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by and surround myself with are what enable me to do this. So my accessibility partners team is beyond amazing. We're coming up on 11 years in business. It's my company. And the team is rock star level incredible. And so they're out there, auditing websites and applications and working to make the world a more accessible place, particularly within the technological landscape, because that really levels the playing field for so many people.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. The people are amazing. On the I Support the Girls side, our team is beyond sensational. I could not do it without this team. And so they're incredible. And then my family, my husband, I mean, he's an incredible partner. We've been together for a long time and he supports me wholeheartedly. And so do my kids.
It's awesome.
So, and my parents and like the whole family really supports me. And so I think it comes down to the people is how I'm able to do it. It's not me, it's a collective unifying force.
Yeah, I feel all of that. I get asked that question a lot, like, how do you do it all? And I'm like, well, I don't do it all. I
Right.
can't do it all. I'm a master delegator.
That basically, yeah, that. I mean, and there's downsides, right? Like I mentioned, at the top of the podcast that this was not a weight loss success story. It's because I've gained the weight back, right? So, and I let people know when I'm out there speaking, like, because everybody, like, they'll clap when I'm like mentioning, I'm like, this is not about somebody losing 35 pounds. Like that's not the story. The story here is that people have come together to change the lives and provide dignity to so many poor people. Like so many people have been impacted and empowered by this, that it's not that I lost weight. That was just the impetus, the spark.
Yeah.
But I realized that it was so much bigger than that because of the people. I mean, I've gained the weight back. I bite my nails. My office is a mess.
Okay. No self-disparaging here.
No. But you asked, right? Right. That's it's not. There's nothing there that's self-disparaging. That is all truth, and that's okay because I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
I think having that self-awareness to be able to say, that's okay. Like I'm okay with all of that because it empowers me to be able to give back and support so many more.
I love that. But do you have any particular daily rituals or anything that just sort of ground you with you?
I listen to a lot. Oh, this is where it'd be great if I said a lot of podcasts. But
I wasn't sure where you were going. I have to be honest.
I listen to a lot of indie rock, a
Okay.
lot of indie
Excellent.
music.
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, I am an indie music snob. I go to a lot of concerts and music festivals. I like live music. I like the music I like, and I'm very, very particular about my music. And I go to early morning dance raves. So
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Tell me more about an early morning dance rave. 'Cause I
Want to
think
come,
that's
Heather?
awesome. I mean, maybe. I've never been to a rave. I'm 45. I've never been to a rave. But
Oh my gosh.
who goes up with them? Don't take this wrong. Only suburban moms are like, let me get up really fucking early and go to a morning rave before I do 2 full-time jobs and raise some kids.
Yeah, that's I mean, you nailed it. That's it. So basically, you're invited. You can come.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you live in the suburbs?
Just outside of Chicago, yeah.
So I believe the outside of, and you said you're a mom and you're busy with a lot of work. So I'm thinking that you've kind of possibly also described yourself. But early morning dance raves I'll be up at like 5:30 a.m. so that I can head into wherever the events might be. Sometimes they're in dance clubs. Sometimes I've been to them. They're at the Kennedy Center. Again, I for those that are just joining, I live in the Washington, D.C. area. Sometimes they're in Smithsonian museums. Sometimes
That's awesome.
They're all over. And it's the first hour is yoga, and then the following 2 hours are like dance club. I mean, you can't see the motion that I'm doing, but you can kind of get the raise the roof vibe.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's good self-care. It keeps you balanced and settled and energized.
Totally.
Exercise. I love it. I think that's
Totally.
so much fun.
I love that. I also do a lot of, oh my God, what was I thinking? We just got a puppy and she's amazing. She's a Labrador Retriever and
why not add a puppy to the mix?
Why we weren't busy. So, okay. No. She brings a lot of energy into the house. She's a silver lab. Her name is Kessie. And I'm constantly in the woods behind my house with her all the time, doing what I call forest bathing. And I just it's basically a walk in the woods and I'm looking up at the trees and the canopy above me and I love it.
I love that too. Well, that's it. The next question I was going to ask you was how do you celebrate? And I think you may have answered, but I'll let you answer it also. But I imagine those feel like celebration moments when there's so much activity and noise. I know for me, the ability to do a forest bath, to walk around and just feel it and smell it and be in it would be nearly celebratory for me. But how do you like to celebrate success, big ones and little ones?
So I'm the kind of person who will run around my house, pump my fist in the air, like woohoo, woohoo, woohoo kind of thing. Like that doesn't get old.
Me too.
I'm also fairly hard on myself. And so I do get excited and jump around and put my fists in the air. But I would say that it's sometimes, unfortunately, hard to hold on to those moments because my brain is constantly on to the next activity or agenda item.
Yeah, that's why I like the art of celebration, because it causes you to pause for just a moment and reflect, which I believe is better for long-term stability than constantly next thing. Like there's a lot of grace and goodness that comes in taking a moment, acknowledging all of the things that have gone well, and then taking a deep breath before you step into the next one.
Totally. I am somebody who's constantly trying to actively be grateful for little things, grateful for big things, grateful for things that are external to me, because I think it can really ground you and give you such a good perspective.
I love that you just said that. My listeners are like, is that planted? It's not planted. I've written 2 books and gratitude journals.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and I speak on gratitude and I host gratitude circles, and it really is game-changing and life-changing. And I just came out in December with a book geared towards kids and families. That's a book and then a guided journal. So I
people,
agree
go
with
out
you.
and buy that. Go to wherever books are sold.
Yeah.
Go buy Heather Vickery's book.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's great. You guys, unless you're local here, you can get them on Amazon, and that's unfortunately the only place just because distribution is hard. But the kids' book is called Grow Grateful, and the adult book is Gratitude Journal Shift Your Focus. So yeah, go get them because Dana's right about all of that.
Oh, good. Hey,
You're just so much fun.
you haven't even hung out. We really should hang out, and then
We gotta
maybe
hang
then
out.
you can make a good informed decision if I'm fun or not.
Okay, well, I will. I have other friends. My friends Mary and Shelly listening from Latter Day Lesbian podcast. They live in the DC area, and
Oh,
my
we
friend
should hang
Mandy
out.
lives in the DC area. So I should just come out and have a fun weekend with all you cool people in the DC area.
DC is fun. DC is it's a good place to
I
be,
love
and
it.
maybe I'll get it to run into your friends from the podcast or Mandy or
Yeah. We'll
yeah,
do a
it's
get
fun.
together.
That would be so fun.
That would be an interesting endeavor. Awesome. Well, as we come to the close of the show, I get to ask you a question that is always tricky when I'm interviewing somebody who has their own nonprofit organization. But other than I support the girls, what is your favorite charitable organization to support?
Oh God, there's so many good ones out there, but one in particular comes to mind that I can't rave about enough. And that would have to be Emma's Torch. And Emma's Torch is based in Brooklyn, in New York City, and it's named after Emma Lazarus, who obviously wrote the score for the Statue of Liberty, the poem, which so their namesake is after Emma Lazarus, the poet and the activist. But what they do is empower refugees through their culinary training, and that really helps them give them new lives, build their new lives in new communities, and they give them restaurant experience behind the back of the kitchen kind of back experience, the front of the restaurant experience, the catering. They give them there's language and immersion and English classes, job readiness training. And it's an amazing apprenticeship program with like hundreds of hours of culinary training for the refugees who are lucky enough.
Oh, wow.
So I would say Emma's Torch.
That's so cool. Well, we're going to be highlighting both that organization and yours throughout the week that this show is the only new episode we have out. They're going to be our charities of the week. And listeners, go get to know them. I urge you every week to go out and get to know them, share what you can, whether that's time or money or just social media likes and telling other people about it. Go out and do that. Dana, will you share your 3 words with us one last time?
My pleasure. My 3 words are accidental, fortuitous, and tenacious.
Yes, those are great words. And when you gave them to me, they're really beautiful words. And I think we touched base on all of them and why you picked them to tell your story. I think you are a fun ball of energy. I imagine that it's go, go, go for you all the time. I don't know about the listeners, but when you were describing the moment where women and girls will shove a bra in and then just sort of push it all down to get their drawer closed, that's absolutely what's happening in my house right now. And I'm fixing that today.
Great.
And I would actually like to go ahead and say right now, let's do a Brave Files podcast drive for you. So tell us, Dana, what we need to do and where we can send them, and let's support. I support the girls.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. So anybody out there listening to Brave Files, I want you to, if you wear a bra, look in your bra drawer, sports bras, any of the ones you no longer wear that you haven't worn in a long time, pop it in a box along with, if you're able and willing, any sealed menstrual hygiene products you no longer wear. For those of you who don't wear a bra, you can still, if you're able to go to your local pharmacy, drugstore, grocery store, pick up there's always buy one, get one free of maxi pads. Those are the most needed items. And pop them in a box and you can donate them to us. Our information is on our website at isupportthegirls.org, and I'm sure that Heather will magically link.
Yes.
magically
We
link.
will have links to everything.
So yes. So our PO box is on the isupportthegirls.org website as well. And you can also reach out, see if we have an affiliate location near you, depending on wherever you are. If you don't, you can certainly mail it to I Support the Girls, PO Box 2736, Wheaton, Maryland 20915, and mention in there in a little letter, in a little note, that you heard about us from the Brave Files, because that makes us really happy.
Absolutely. And I will level up one for all of you listening. If you do it and you send me or post, you can either post, I would prefer that you post on social media so that we're giving I Support the Girls some extra love, but that you heard about it on the show and that you're shipping off some supplies, put it on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or just send me an email. I will enter you to win a copy of my gratitude journal.
That is, come on, everybody. Who doesn't want the gratitude journal? Guys, you guys want the gratitude journal. We want your bras. It's a win-win.
Exactly. And if you already have one, you can gift it to somebody else. So I know a lot of my listeners are awesome supporters and big fans of the gratitude journal, but we can give it to somebody else as a gift. So let's do this, folks. Let's rise up together and go through our drawers, or, hit up the sales in the stores and give this organization some love, and then let me know that you're doing it so I can enter you to win. I am happy to answer any questions about this. If you have it, I would love to know your feedback. You can give me a call at 312-646-0205 and let me know how I can support you, how you're choosing bravely, and whatever else you want to share. Dana, this has been fun. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Heather. It was a blast.
All right, folks, this is it for this week. I cannot wait to connect with you next week. I can't wait to see how well this brave community rises up to support this particular organization, I Support the Girls. So make sure you send in those pictures and link and tag us all across the board. This is Heather Vickery reminding you today and every single day to go out and choose bravely. The Brave Files is proudly supported by Audible. If you enjoy listening to podcasts, you're sure to love listening to your favorite books on Audible. Get your free 30-day trial complete with a credit for a free audiobook download today simply by visiting audibletrial.com/thebravefiles. Again, that's visiting audibletrial.com/thebravefiles. You've been listening to The Brave Files, stories from people living courageously. To learn more about the show, find our show notes, or get some great bonus content, visit thebravefilespodcast.com. And we'd love to know what you think. You can give us a call at 312-646-0205. Let us know your thoughts on the episode, the show in general, or maybe share with us how you're out choosing bravely. This episode is brought to you by Vickery & Co. Success Coaching, coaching that helps you maintain a life well lived and a business well run. Learn more at vickeryandco.com. Our music is produced by Matt Lewis. Follow him on Instagram at mattmmusic or visit his website, theunionband.com. We couldn't do any of this without our extraordinary audio engineer, Andrew Olson. Learn more about him and check out his work at findandrewolson.com. And special thanks to our associate producer, Kim Statler. I'm your host and executive producer, Heather Vickery. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.